Let's do a bit of time travel today. I'm going to start right back at the beginning and show you everything that you get with Home Assistant. So if you're a beginner, this is going to be really helpful because this is what you get. I'm also going to do a bit of time travel, hopefully a bit like this and this. So let's get into the telephone box and roll the credits. Okay, I'm at the Home Assistant start screen. Initially, you only get an overview dashboard. The overview dashboard, unless you take control of it, just has every device plonked on it. So this is all the devices that I've plonked on it so far. And some of them work, some of them don't. But everything I could possibly add to it just gets added there automatically. Going on down, this is my first time travel. I did a video that helped people work out whether they needed to add salt to their dishwasher. There'll be a link up there. And it's just a script that goes through and works out how long dishwasher salt's in the dishwasher, how many days it's going to be in there, and then works out whether you need to add salt or not. Okay, from scratch is something that I'm building now, so that one's a secret. We've then got the map, which shows users of your Home Assistant system on a map. Okay, I've then got something from another video, link up there. Now this is System Monitor, and it's designed to show you what's working and what's not. So I've kind of got these which appear or disappear as you need them. I've got a processor graph. I've got what's going on in the system. The video shows you how to kind of monitor Home Assistant when it's running, and also is really helpful when it's not running. I've not done anything with energy. I'm planning to do a video on my solar panels and kind of configuring all this, but that's for the future. The next two things are monitoring tools. The first one is Logbook, and that lists what's going on kind of in a big list. If I choose an area, I could go down to individual devices, but if I just choose downstairs, as you can see, Sky Q is playing. It was paused a little while ago. The front door was opened. Kind of that's what's going on between 5 and 8 in a list format. The other way is history, which kind of turns it round into this kind of view, so you can see what's happening through time, what's on, what the temperature, what the humidity is, and you can fiddle with all these values. So that's Logbook and history. The next one's calendar. I've linked calendar to my Google Calendar up there. I've got to stop using MBNA on the 30th. I'm not sure what that is. I'll look later. That's come from my Google Calendar. The next two items, I'm going to jump and do two together. File editor is a way of editing files. So it's a basic editor. You can go in here and you can kind of add things. I've just realized I'm going to blur this bit of the screen, otherwise you'll be using my Amazon Prolly. The next one, jumping down a bit, is Studio Code Editor, which is kind of an upgrade to File Editor. It's a bit like Visual Studio, where you've got a lot more things that you can do. I'm going to blur some of this too. Okay, so going back to Hacks. Hacks is Home Assistant Community Store. Now, Home Assistant comes with a standard set of entities which cover lots of things, but people write their own entities. So in here, I've got something that connects you to LLM, which is AI. I've got a better calendar card. I've got Watchman, which I use in System Monitor. So that's the kind of things that you can add in. Video up there to install Home Assistant. Next one's media. So this is media that you can add. One of the things I've added, link at the top, is Google Photos. So in Google Photos, you can kind of link to your Google Photos from Home Assistant. Okay, so that's media. Motion Eye is a camera setup thing. I've removed the cameras from the system, but I've not removed Motion Eye, so that's kind of why it's still there. Studio Code Enter I've already mentioned. To-do lists. Home Assistant comes with a standard shopping list that you can add to, but again, I've added Google Tasks to it. Link at the top there, which means that you can kind of see what's going on in Home Assistant. And as you can see, I've already rolled the credits and I've made a video on Google Calendar. I've already mentioned the link, but I still need to hoover the house and paint the house 3 months ago. Okay, working on my way down. Zigbee to MQTT. Zigbee is a communications and system protocol that certain types of devices use. You might have seen it when you kind of look for devices. Zigbee is very good at battery sensors. So door sensor, temperature sensor, vibration sensor, presence sensor. It's really good at those things. I've done a video that covers the whole of Zigbee up there. That's definitely worth watching. Developer tools and settings I'm going to gloss over for now, and we'll come back to notifications. You can make notifications appear. So I've got a script that runs and says you've got these things have got low battery. I've got no low battery devices, but it just means that when something's low on battery, you know when you can change the battery, and you get nagged. I get nagged every day. No, I'm not talking about you. She must be obeyed, walk by. So I'm going to dismiss that. The bottom one's the profile, which has got your basic settings. There's some good things in here. It's a good idea to switch advanced mode on. Also in security, another link up there that tells you how to set up multi-factor authentication. If you think you can control your house from anywhere in the world, it means other people can control your house from anywhere in the world. Multi-factor authentication gives you added security on this. Okay, that's it. Let's jump back to developer tools and settings, and we'll go into more details on what they've got. Okay, let's dive into the first complicated bit, which is developer tools. Although it says developer tools, it's for everyone. So the first tab is YAML, where you can check your configuration and make sure that if you've edited any of those files that you might have done in File Editor or Studio Code, everything is still fine. You can restart. You can also, Home Assistant is done in lots of little sections, so you could restart your automations, make them read that back in again. So that's what this page does. It's worth restarting every now and again. When you go to restart, it says, do you want to do a quick reload, or do you want to restart Home Assistant, or do you want to actually restart your whole computer? Restart Home Assistant is normally enough. Again, it's worth restarting your whole computer every now and again. But if you do my monitoring video, you can see how often you're restarting it. Okay, states. Every item in your house has entities, and entities have got states. So I've got automation states here. I've got one for the calendar. I've got lots of kind of every single item has got a state, and these are all the values for it. So let's see if we can find something that'll make sense. It's got my phone in, it's got inputs. So this is the state of my Denon AVR. So those are the things it's got, and it's on. Okay, actions. Now actions, Home Assistant, every time you add a a new device. It's got its own set, but it's got a set of actions, and actions are make something happen, make something go on. So I'm going to have a quick demo of Chime. So if we click on perform action, that's what it does. So that's actions. There are lots of actions for everything you could possibly want to do. This is for kind of testing them. Okay, templates. Now I use a template in my dishwasher video. It's a way of using the things that are in your states and your variables and kind of things like that. It's a bit complicated for beginners, I will say, but it's a way of looking at them. Events is kind of the opposite to actions. Events are things that Home Assistant's listening for. So what's going on, what's happening. Statistics is what Home Assistant gets sent back. These are all the kind of values that are going on. And the last one, assist, is Home Assistant's own automated assistant. You can get you can buy a complete mental block, see the text here, which will be able to work the same as an Alexa or a Google Home. So that's developer tools. As a beginner, the one you're probably going to go is YAML restart. Everything else to start off with, you probably won't touch. So let's look in settings. Now, settings has got two things that you're probably going to be really interested in. One is updates that are going on. So Home Assistant is telling me I've got these updates that I should install. We'll come back to them in a second. The other menus, I'll quickly run down them. So connecting to Navicasa Home Assistant Cloud. On this instance, I'm not connected to Navicasa, as you can see. It's the integrations that are there and all the settings for Navicasa. Devices and services contains kind of what services you've got, what integrations you've got, I should say. So these are the programs that I could add. So I could add Octoprint, I could add the Philips TV. These are the ones that I've got set up, and I can add new ones by going into integration. Devices is a list of all the devices that I've got set up. So like I mentioned Chime earlier, I mentioned Hacks. These are all the things that I've got set up. So Philips TV is set up. SkyQ is set up. You've seen that. Entities, all devices have entities. So entities are the kind of the smaller parts of device. So you might have a light, but its entity might be the color or the on and off or kind of things like that. Helpers are additional things to help you store things. So I've got those dishwasher things in here. So the number of dishwasher days that it'll last is stored in here. Okay, that's devices and services. Automations and scenes. You get automations, which are if this happens and this is happening. Let's start a new one, it'll make more sense then. When this happens and if this is going on, do this. So that's what an automation is. A scene is have a setting for a certain area. So these are the devices in this scene. So SkyQ has been set and the bulb has been set. That's what a scene is. It's a way of kind of pushing something out to an area. Scripts they're not like automations. They are make this happen. So it's kind of like a list. You can do lots of clever things for scripts. The last one is blueprints. This is where you use the Home Assistant community. You can download blueprints to do particular things. So I've got one here with low battery detection. Okay, working my way down. Labels and zones. So I've got these zones in my house, and I can put devices into them. It just makes life easier if everything's labelled. So these are my zones. So I've got a downstairs, I've got an upstairs, I've got a to-do in an unassigned area. So that's the areas. Labels, you can put labels on things so they understand, so you understand them. I mentioned Zigbee, so all my Zigbee devices should have a label of Zigbee. Okay. Zones are areas that you kind of live in. So what you can do is you can specify a zone around your house. So when you come to your house zone, you should be doing this. You can have a work zone, or you can have kind of zones for all sorts of things. Okay, so that's areas and zones. Add-ons are extra add-ons for Home Assistant. Zigbee to MQTT I mentioned is an add-on. Dashboards, remember I mentioned about dashboards. Voice assistant, there are 3 sorts of voice assistant that it'll work with. So there's Assist, which is the Home Assistant one, there's Alexa, and there's Google Assistant. Tags, I've done a video, see up there, that shows you how to use NFC and QR tags, so you can kind of scan something with your phone, or scan something, other people can kind of get into your house or do things just by scanning things. People who have access, and then we get to system, which is kind of an important one. Now these are all the things to do with the system, so logs you might be interested in, updates. Now then what we're going to do is backups. So I'm looking at backups, and I've got automatic backup set up. My last successful automatic backup was 12 hours ago and has gone in 2 locations. Well, I've not changed anything in 12 hours, so I know I've got a backup, so I can actually run these updates. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to do extra backup so I can kind of roll back if something goes wrong. And it's a case of doing the update. Now I know I'm safe because it has done 2 backups. If this goes horribly wrong, I can restore my backups. Okay, Cloudflare is updated. Link at the top there. Cloudflare gives me the ability to not have to remember IP addresses. So Cloudflare is updated. I could do the others. Some of the settings require you to reboot. So let's do the Alexa Media Player. See whether that's going to need a reboot. Okay, and it's going to need a reboot. And if I go back to, yeah, it wants to do a reboot. So I could go Developer Tools, YAML, Restart Home Assistant. Okay, restarts can take anything from 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. It depends on your hardware. Hopefully you've watched the video that shows the different types of hardware that you can have. Link at the top. Now I like to do restarts and just watch the screen, because you can see it says connection lost. Okay, I've got a new connection coming in now, and it starts all the integrations, and you can see everything that's there. Okay, Home Assistant has started, so everything's fine. So for the last bit of this video, I'm going to restart my Home Assistant core. I'm going to do a backup of it, so I'm going from 7.4 to 8 and click update. While that's restarting, I'll mention a few more things. It's not a good idea to, the minute a update comes out, to install it straight away. In IT terms, we call it the bleeding edge. It's a good idea to keep up to date because of security issues and kind of things like that, but you don't need to install on minute 1 it's been released, because I'm being mean and nasty now. You can get other people to test it and go, don't do it, it's a big problem, and find out what's there. Now Home Assistant has got a developer forum and a beta testing that you can join if you want to get involved with that. But if you leave it a day, 24 hours, at least all the kinks will be worked out of the system. Okay, that's it for today. I'm about to go full screen and change clothes and give you 2 more videos to watch. If you don't want to watch them, I'll see you on the next one. Unless you want to watch these 2.